Hey garden friends, welcome back to Not Quite Homesteading, ESK Garden. Today we're in the garden about to replant our raspberry plants. So I do have some new additions that I'll be adding. I'm going on a fruit tree craze or fruit bush craze and trying to get ready for the spring as it is quickly approaching. So I'm bringing you guys along today so that we can get our raspberries repotted and set up where they can begin to root themselves and start growing, so that prayerfully we'll have some fruit sometime in the next year. So if you're new here and you're a gardening enthusiast, you love a good gardening journey, or you're a gardener yourself looking for support, join our gardening community and let's engage in the comments and have some fun around growing. So these are our supplies. I picked up 3. These are 16-inch resin Napa barrel planters. These are the same planters that I have my blueberry plants in, and I wanted to kind of keep some semblance of uniformity. I'm going to be using some raised bed soil as well as some perlite, and then I'm actually going to mix in some soil acidifier, some citrus tone fertilizer, as well as some worm castings. When I originally did this research, I researched this 3 times, y'all, and apparently I don't know what I was thinking. I picked up peat moss for this, thinking that it would need to be planted similarly to like the blueberries. You do not use peat moss for raspberries. So it actually tells you to use like sandy loamy soil, which is basically sandy fertile soil, and make sure it's well draining. And as well, it tells you actually to use 2 parts soil and 1 part topsoil. So luckily I had topsoil on hand because I didn't buy that at the store. And I'm going to use the 2 parts raised bed soil and then 1 part topsoil, and I'll mix in the rest of that stuff so that it's well draining and it has a good start with the fertilizer. But basically, my husband's going to start by drilling drain holes in the bottom of the resin barrels, and then we're going to fill in the soil. The plant roots have been soaking for a few hours, and I have those here. They're literally just in like a Home Depot bucket. So they tell you to soak them for about 30 minutes, but I let them go for a few hours just to make sure they were nice and saturated, and it'll give the plants a nice kickstart. Alright y'all, so we finished drilling the holes in the buckets. I'm going to go ahead and take like some paper towels and a little bit of alcohol and just clean out the inside of the buckets, and then we'll start pouring in the soil and the other things that we need for each plant. So the 3 varieties of raspberries that I'm planting are the Mammoth red raspberry, the Ann raspberry, which is like a gold raspberry, and then an Autumn Bliss. The Mammoth, I think, is kind of like a standard like raspberry bush. It can grow up to like 8 feet tall, so it does need support when planting. Because I'm planting them in pots and not in the bed, I'm gonna use like the tomato cage. But if you were planting these in the bed, you would need to stake them. The Autumn Bliss is actually a variety that is kind of cultivated for the South, especially for like the lower South. So if you're someone that lives like on the coast, on the southern coast, and you're looking for a raspberry, that one is supposed to be more disease resistant. It puts out fewer runners than a traditional raspberry plant would. So I'm excited to see what that one does. And then the Ann raspberry is just like a different look and color, so I wanted to try that. But they also all fruit around different times. So I thought that would be good for us because, you know, at least it gives us kind of like an ongoing ability to harvest like raspberries. So I can't remember the mammoth red, but I want to say that one is, it might be like a June, July fruiting. And then the Ann raspberry is from August to October, and then the Autumn Bliss is fall as well, but it doesn't give a specific date. So it gives us just a longer harvest having the 3 plants. And they're not supposed to fruit in their first year, but we'll see what happens. We have really, really warm temperatures, so they may, you know, just surprise us. But we'll see what happens there. So these are worm castings that I'm putting in. I put in the perlite and the soil acidifier, and then I'm gonna add the last like 1/3 of topsoil in each. And y'all will have seen this long before like this video comes out, but I'm so excited. I just walked past to get my gloves, and we have our first little pea sprout. So our first little pea pod sprout, should I say. But that is super exciting. I'll definitely be posting that way ahead of this video, so you'll see it in like a photo on the community page. But if you haven't, check it out. So all I'm going to do is just mix this in really, really well. And then and I'm going to water in as well before I actually add the plant roots. I just prefer personally to water ahead of putting in the plants. And then I'll water it in just a little bit once that's done. Alright, so that's what the plants are looking like. We are done. I'm going to sit them up, and they're going to kind of just hang out on the edge of the patio for right now. I'm still deciding where I want all the fruit trees to go, but I hope you guys enjoyed this plant along. If you're planting raspberries this season, let me know what kind of raspberries you guys are planting. If you have raspberry trees, let me know how long they took to start producing. I would love to hear that down in the comments. So I appreciate you all for watching, and until our next garden update, friends, bye.